I'm going to move on and take the next speaker. And if he is able to come back in, of course, we can invite him to speak at a slightly later point. So, therefore, I will instead invite Jan Hopma, the founder and chairman of Innovation Bridge from Holland, from Netherlands. Uh, all of these European nations can play, and certainly Holland or Netherlands' role in port development, maritime, is extremely relevant and important for maintaining and building the Belt and Road Initiative, together with cooperation globally and with China. So, yeah, Mr. Hopma, I give you the word, please.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. I will do this from the point of the view of a citizen of the Netherlands. I'm based in Rotterdam, indeed also famous for its biggest port and all the European logistics around it. My name is Jan Hopma. I'm the director of the Europe-China business consultancy Innovasian Bridge. Our mission is to be the bridge for innovation and trade between Europe and China, connecting companies and also research institutes from both sides. But let me first start with a story. In the 17th century, Dutch merchants played a key role in this global silver trade, a system that connected China, the Americas, and Europe in one of the earliest forms of globalization. Spanish silver from the Americas flowed into China, where it was in high demand, fueling trade across continents. The Netherlands, with its strategic ports and sharp business acumen, thrived as acting as a bridge between suppliers and buyers, between East and West. We weren't the biggest players, but we were smart and pragmatic. We understood that trade works best when it's built on stability, trust, and long-term relationships. Fast forward to today, and the world is once again shifting. The US under Trump is redrawing trade lines and introducing uncertainty into a system that has shaped our prosperity for decades. So the question is, what role should the Netherlands and the EU play in this changing global order? For years, Europe and the Netherlands have enjoyed an open, stable global economy, but now we face a world where the US is pushing for one-sided trade deals, trying to force partners into a system designed primarily to serve its own industries. China is undergoing structural economic shifts, transitioning from an investment-driven economy to a more consumer-oriented one. And the EU is realizing that it must also stand more independently, balancing security concerns with economic interests. The Dutch approach has always been pragmatic. We believe in strong trade relationships, avoiding unnecessary conflicts, and making sure we don't put all our eggs in one basket. So instead of seeing today's uncertainty as a crisis, let's see it as an opportunity to reshape how we engage with both China and the US. So here is what I believe is a smart strategy for the Netherlands and Europe. Avoid dependency, but stay engaged. The Netherlands should not become overly dependent on either the US or China. That means ensuring also fair trade agreements with China rooted in mutual benefit, maintaining strong ties with the US, but resisting pressure to blindly follow Trump's economic nationalism. We've always been traders, not followers. That's how we built our success. The Dutch also have a long history of navigating between global powers. That skill is needed now more than ever. Instead of getting caught in the US-China tensions, we should push for multilateral solutions through the WTO, G20, and the UN, encouraged China to also open its markets further, ensuring fair competition for Dutch and European business. Position the EU as a stabilizing force, working with China where interests align and pushing back when necessary, but always based on clear rules and fair trade. That's how the Netherlands and Europe can remain strong in the face of change. Also, to strengthen the key areas of cooperation where China and Europe and the Netherlands can work together, like in green energy and climate tech. The world needs sustainable solutions, and the Netherlands is a leader in offshore wind, hydrogen, and water management, all areas where China is investing heavily. Also, the digital and AI governance. Rather than being caught in a tech Cold War, Europe and China should shape global AI and cybersecurity standards together, ensuring openness without compromising security. Also, supply chain resilience. The Netherlands, with world-class logistics expertise, think Rotterdam, can help ensure stable and diversified trade routes. So let's return to the Dutch-Chinese silver trade for a moment. In the 17th century, Spanish silver flowed into China, fueling one of the most complex and dynamic trade networks in history. The Dutch, positioned at the center, didn't try to control the trade or dictate the terms. Instead, they navigated the currents, found opportunities, and built strong, enduring relationships, not through force, but through smart diplomacy and commerce. That same mindset is needed today. Once again, the global economy is shifting, and once again, the Netherlands and Europe must chart a smart course between major powers. The US is restructuring trade to serve its own interests. China is adjusting to a new economic model, and Europe must also define its independent role, neither blindly following Washington nor becoming over-dependent on Beijing. So just like in the 1600s, we don't have to be the biggest to be influential. The Netherlands has always thrived by being strategic, pragmatic, and forward-thinking. That means engaging with China on innovation and sustainability, just as we once again engaged on trade. Building strong economic ties while maintaining balance, just as we did centuries ago. Adapting to change instead of resisting it, because that's how the Dutch have always stayed ahead. So the silver trade of the past didn't just move wealth, it moved ideas, technology, and culture. Trade is more than transactions. It's a foundation for shared progress. So as we step into this new era of global trade, let's remember what made us strong. Openness, adaptability, and the ability to work with partners while protecting our own interests. The world is changing, but as history shows, the Netherlands succeeds not by fighting the tides, but by mastering the currents. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jan. That was very important contribution from the Netherlands to give us insights both historically and presently that your country can play a very important role in bridging and promoting the Belt and Road Initiative, that business connections can benefit if the governments would understand the nature of the Belt and Road Initiative. And you mentioned one thing which I think seems to be missing from all of the reality of discussions in terms of, quote, European or global security, which is trust. First of all, if there is no trust, there is no business, there is not much of anything that is of value. And that comes from dialogue, from interaction and talking to one another. Having a position that immediately defines other nations or In the case of the present geopolitical circumstances, will not contribute. This is obvious for any normally well-thinking individual. So I think that's a very important point, not only in business, but in general security questions, that trust is a factor that we have to work towards.